It's time for the HabNormals podcast. All Habs, all the time. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to HabNormals, episode number 31 already. It's hard to believe. So we've got, it's summertime. We got stuff to talk about.
We got some good news.
Signings.
Yes, sir. No, you can't really see it. That's Clayton Gooley on the back.
Yeah, I'm talking now. There's been 3 signings, 2 yesterday, 1 today, all defensemen. Anybody worried they weren't going to sign Jack Guy? Well, you don't have to worry anymore. And they signed Justin Barron. And just to make it like the cherry on top, a year ahead, because he still has a year left on his contract, they signed Caden Gooley today to a 6-year deal. Barron and Jack Guy
both. The real cherry on top, though, if you look at those deals in terms of term and money, you can't get more perfect either. You know what I like? It's not only did we lock these players up, but like everything about it's perfect. The money's perfect. The term's perfect. Like,
well, we're gonna get to that. We're going to get to that. So they locked up 3 young defensemen. Locked up. I mean, Caden Gooley they locked up. Arbor and
right.
Barron,
When I say locked up, I just mean like.
But they're signed for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a worry there. As far as for Jack Guy, I don't think that's a problem. Obviously, he'll sign again, and he'll make more money then, and everything be fine. So we're going to talk about this, obviously. We're going to talk about all the rumors out there for Patrick Laine coming to Montreal. There was an interesting one today on Twitter. Someone posting a picture saying he was in Montreal at the airport. He saw him, and it wasn't a picture of Laine at all. So fans are really excited about this. I think we have a difference of opinion in the room here between me and Harry, because we sort of talked about. We didn't, but I have a feeling that we see it differently. Anyways, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to do a projected lineup for next season. So we're all going to give our opinions. I've got a video already out about that. So basically that'll be, I don't think I've changed anything. I may have a little bit of a different opinion on 1 or 2 guys. We're gonna deal with that. So I'm gonna do that with my 2 co-hosts up there, 1 on each side. That's same with do it the wrong way. Harry Rice. You can find Harry Rice at Harry Rice Hockey on YouTube. Just type that in and check it out. I should have I'm gonna get a link to put in the description. I don't know why I don't have one. I should have one already. And then we got I got it wrong. We got Matt up there, Matt Norton. He's my partner on Talking Habs, and you think you know everybody by now? It's 31 episodes. All right, so we're gonna talk.
It's the Carey Price episode.
There you go. It is the Carey Price episode. I should have known that and put that up there. Carey Price, by the way, there's a rumor out there that Hughes is looking to move that contract now. So I've seen this out. Like I've seen a few people talking about it now, not just today. Like for a week or so, it doesn't mean that it's happening.
No, but I also, it also isn't like I don't think that's a crazy idea, right?
Well, it's not a crazy idea.
Because if you think about the trajectory we're on, we're gonna need that roster spot. You know what I mean?
You need the roster spot, and it's not always the best thing to be running on LTIR money.
Right, and so, as of right now, without his LTIR money, we get like 5-point-something million in the bank. So it's we're in a good spot.
Still in a good spot. Still in a good spot. But while you have it, it's good to have while you have it, I guess. But and Price has already come out and said, I think in the offseason last season.
Yeah, he said he's fine with it.
He's fine with it. Whatever the team needs, he's fine with whatever they do and all that. As long as it makes the team better, he's good with it. Mm-hmm. So there's that. But now the news really is the 3 signings. Since I've been taking up all this time so far, we'll start with, since Matt was the last one in, we'll start with Harry. What do you think of these 3 signings?
I love them. If I could just give the AAV and the term just for those the 3 Habs fans who might not know, Jack Guy was locked up at 1.3. I don't know why I'm looking down. My notes are on my computer. I didn't write these down. Arbor Jack Guy. Arbor Jack Guy was signed at $1.3 million for 2 years. Justin Barron was given $1.15 million for 2 years. And
you said it wrong though. I think because there's people that are going to hear that and go, "What? 1.3 million for 2 years?"
Yeah, 1.3 million per each season for 2 years, so he gets total of 2.6. Barron, it's a total of about 2.3. He was given 1.15 million per year. And Caden Gooley, the biggest signing of these three, 5.5 million per season for 6 years.
A total of 33.3 million.
Yeah, 33.3. I see that someone also saw that. Renee Level put that out. I butchered his name.
Gooley's contract kicks in.
Gooley said, "I need that WA number."
Gooley is signed through from 2025-26 through 2030-2031.
Yeah.
So his contract doesn't kick in this season, but the next one.
Yep.
The other two defensemen do kick in this because they were both RFAs.
Right.
Contracts were expired. So.
Yep.
So there you go. You're updated. You're updated on what the signings were.
Yep.
Now, what's your opinion on those signings?
I love all three of them. Firstly, I've made it known. I think everybody in the Habs fan base loves Arbor Jackeye. Big bruising defenseman. He gets physical. He has some good defensive upside. Yeah, the sheriff in town. Yeah, he's got some good offensive skills. He literally blasts pucks through the net. Yeah, I love the sheriff. I'm glad to have him back. I'll admit the bridge deal's a little scary because if he develops the way that we've seen him so far, he's going to be worth about $4 million per minimum.
But okay, but don't you think they've thought of that already? And
yeah, they haven't. They're probably
there's a reason.
They're probably fine with it.
There's a reason, and maybe since we were talking about Carey Price, maybe they're planning to move the contract. They got to keep those two guys low because if they are planning on what we're going to talk about after, then they need money for that.
Yeah, absolutely. They would. And Arbor Jackeye, I mean, he's a great guy. I admittedly love the 2-year deal rather than give him the 6 to 8 year deal right away. Because he's had both his shoulders have had problems. The first year he got into a 5-a-day harness, he broke his shoulder, I believe, off of that.
Tore no, it was the
was it rotator cuff or labrum?
No, the same thing Caulfield had.
Labrum.
Oh, yeah, literally the same exact thing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, literally the same exact thing.
And then last year he had some problem with his other shoulder. So,
which he's not. I read an interview with him today. He's not 100% like rehab from that, but he will be by camp. He said everything's good.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So I actually do like the 2 years because you never know what could happen in the NHL, especially big physical players like him.
Well, especially with how deep we are at defense. That's why I like the Barron term as well. We're so deep in defense right now. Those 2 deals to me are say, hey, listen, we like you. We're going to give you 2 years. Let's do what you can do, and then we're going to have to make decisions. In
the case of Barron and Harris himself, who's on a last year of his contract, the number, the 1.4 for Harris, 1.15 for Barron. If you're going to move those guys, that's a great contract. You're not going to have any trouble moving those.
No, I mean, you're exactly correct. Exactly correct. Yeah. And again, it just, like I said before we got on here, like it's just supreme GMing from Kent Hughes. Like it's awesome. Like it's just perfect. Right. And then, we'll get into Gooley now. I'll start with Gooley because I'm wearing a shirt. Like 6 years, I think is perfect because he's only 21. So this is going to bring him.
It'll take him to free
It'll take him till he's 28, 29, which is perfect.
It'll take him to free agent.
5 for, I think we can agree on it's a high end, number 3 D-man, maybe.
Oh,
top pair, like right that range. I mean, it's perfect.
Top pair, number 3 defenseman. Yeah.
And I think he's earned it. I mean, I think a lot of times, especially the last season or two.
Sort of.
Well, but hear me out here. Hear me out, though.
I'm going to hear you out.
Sure. I mean, he's had his bumps. I get it. I mean, he's still.
That's not what I mean, though. It's not what I mean, though. But I'll hear you out.
I get he's had some injury concerns, but I think one of the factors behind that, and I've seen it in game. When he plays with Matheson, which I'm probably going to end up being his pairing again, he ends up having to do the job at 2 defensemen in the D zone, and I think that takes a toll on him. And I think that's what, like, there'll be games where, he won't look good, but it's because he's tired out from having to do the job at 2 D-men. I've seen it a lot with Matheson on that pair, and But I think there's other games where he's done that job amicably. There's games where Matheson, when he plays his side and Gouli doesn't have to worry about it, he's our best shutdown defenseman, like without a doubt. So I think he's earned it. I think it's a fine contract for him, and obviously we've said that he's part of the core, but it's basically solidifies that core four, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
Him, Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slafkovsky, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. Listen, when I said sort of, it's not that I don't think he's good or anything like that. It's not a knock on him. What I meant is he's still really young. He still has a little bit of improvement to go and all that, but it's clear that this guy can handle the load and all that. So they gave him the money a little bit early, in my opinion. But when that contract's over, that's gonna look like nothing.
Yeah, and plus keep in mind that year of improvement's gonna be this season probably.
He's going to definitely, probably even this next season. He's definitely going.
I mean, I said, we've seen him. Last year there was a game against Boston where he single-handedly shut the team down. I think it was the game that we won.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah,
and he scored the OT winner, but he single-handedly shut them down. So we know what he's capable of. We know how much better he's gotten every season. Like this is a contract that I think will age very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't mean to put him down. It wasn't why I said that. They gave it to him a little bit early, but I think by the time the contract does kick in, then you'll say, yeah, he's earned it. Because this year I expect 100%. A big year from him, so that's why I'm saying that. Let's take a look at the who's here, because we haven't done that yet, and we're live.
Yeah.
And I guess I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we are indeed live. Yeah,
we're not just doing this live.
Uza. Happening.
My mouse. Hang on, my mouse is dying.
Red, how we doing, Joe?
Yeah, Red. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Red. Red does have a question. While Rick's getting his mouse ready, what is Gouli's upside? Most teams I would have said top pair, but because the Canadians have Hudson and Reinbacher, I'm gonna say high end second pair defenseman.
Yeah, I think he's a high end,
very, very good
man. I do. I think that's his upside. But again, he's a guy that can play top pair minutes. I mean. If all goes according to plan, right, with him, Hudson and Reinbacher, we're gonna basically have three top pairing D-men, essentially. Obviously, one of Gouli probably
be a hell of a top four,
right? But that's what I mean, like, because again, Gouli can play those top line minutes if need be, and I think when Hudson and Reinbacher hit, that's gonna be the top pair. But again, Gouli's like right there, so. Yeah, I mean his upside's right there. It's going to be a hell of a top four.
Let me ask you something. Gouli's a left side defenseman, Matheson left side defenseman. I think it's obvious they're going to play together. I don't see Gouli getting relief from the right side, and I saw someone make a point today that we haven't even maybe not seen the best of him because he's not playing on his right side. He's playing on the right side, but that's not his right side.
He's not playing on his proper side. He usually plays.
He's playing on his weak side, not his strong side.
Yeah.
But he does a good job there. I think in that pairing, though, you got Matheson and Gouli. They both play both sides. I guess situationally, that where they end up on the ice once the play starts doesn't really matter. So I think it doesn't affect him in that way. And I think Gouli playing the right side, he's a right shot. Even though he's a left side defenseman, am I right? Gouli's a right shot?
I believe so.
I don't know.
He's a left shot.
Oh, he's a left shot?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I saw a picture and it looked, but he might have just been holding the stick that way. And I thought
they're both left shots, Matheson and Gouli. Both
but
of them.
He plays they both play on both sides. I don't think this is an issue that some people out there are saying that it is. Right?
Like I said, I think the main concern is obviously Matheson's because he's an offensive defenseman, is going to have games where he's just lost in his own end, and that's when Gouli kind of has to overcome.
Which we've seen, right?
Again, I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. That's why, like, a lot of times I've seen people kind of rag on Gouli on Twitter, and I'm like, you're not watching the game. You just had to do the job at 2 D-men. Like, you're not gonna look your best when you're having to cover all that ice. So again,
stay at home. The stay-at-home guy, the defensive defenseman on the pairing. I mean, that's what his job is.
Right. And again, he's done it very, very well. I'm not saying that he's done it bad. Just maybe been 1 or 2 games where you could tell that he's
everybody has that.
Bad, but for the most part, he does it very, very well. I think he's very agile. He's very smart. I mean, his defensive IQ is way up there. He's made a lot of real real nice plays with the stick.
This is a team with smart players. That's one thing about this team.
Yeah.
They've done the right thing, right? You got guys with great attitudes, guys with great character, and smart players. They know where to be. They know where the other guy is. It's really good that you've got so many high hockey IQs out there.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, I think the guy who probably has the highest right now only played like 2 games with the team, and that's Laine Hutson, right? And that's something that if you've ever read about him or listened to what people say about him, he's one of the smartest players that's ever come out of the U.S. national development team.
Mm-hmm. I've got a question for you to zigzag a little bit, because the question
is that a pun intended?
Out there. It seems like
is that a pun? Because I mentioned Laine Hutson.
No, but look, even if I don't know if you read Treg's column. Treg Wilson, friend of the channel, been on here twice. He wrote a column today projecting the lineup, basically what we're doing, right? In his defense, in his defenseman, I don't think he had Hudson in there. And if he did, he talked about the fact that potentially Hudson, one of the reasons why he might play in Laval is the waiver exemption, because they haven't made any moves other than Kovacevic.
Yeah.
With it being very top heavy for left side defensemen. So people are talking about this, that Hudson won't make it. I don't buy that in any way.
Oh God, no!
I don't see how you keep Hudson off of this team.
I mean, he's gonna make the team.
He's gonna make the team.
Yeah, even if it takes into preseason, he's gonna have a strong game.
That had like 2 assists and created a shit like he's gonna make the team.
And look at the moves he made in those first 2 games. I mean, the guy doesn't need to play in the AHL.
You can tell. I mean, he's more than ready to play in NHL.
Yeah, he doesn't need to play in the AHL. He doesn't need to. And if this team is really serious, apparently they are. They want to make the playoffs, right? That's their goal. Their goal is to make the playoffs. It's not a developing team, and it's not development. That's key. Development's important. It's not the key issue this year. Wins matter. If you're doing that, you're playing Hudson in the AHL. It doesn't make sense if he doesn't need to play there. Why would you do that? So I believe a move's coming to make that not a.
Well, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head when obviously we know the 3 D-men that got signed. Jordan Harris didn't get extended, so I think that's kind of the telltale.
Okay, but Harris is signed.
I get that, but again, right.
But being that Barron is a natural right side defenseman, and they only really have 2, right? Savard and Barron. That's it right now on the roster.
Right.
The fact that they signed him for 2 years, even though it's a contract that's tradable, I think it says something about who's staying and who's not.
Right. Right, because again, too, I mean, not even just with Harris, but, you still got, I mean, Mayu could very well make a jump sooner rather than later. They need room. And again, I think having Jack-Eye and Barron on those kind of 2-year small money kind of prove it deal, so to speak. Not so much really Jack-Eye, because I do think they really like Jack-Eye as much.
Oh, Jack-Eye's not going anywhere.
But with Barron, I mean, that's what that is. Prove it, see what you got, because we got 2-3 guys that are going to make the team.
They could really say, we know you're not going to make it, so we signed
but just
contract that's movable.
But Ken Hughes isn't going to be a meanie. He's
going
to say, we're going to let you prove it, but then he goes to Gordon, he goes, God, I hope one of these other kids.
He hasn't got a chance.
Look, you have no chance of staying with the Habs long term, but just give us some value before you leave.
Up your trade value a little bit.
Listen,
up your trade value. We want a second out of you.
Okay, but imagine they signed him to, say, a bigger contract, a little bit higher money, but it doesn't work out. Now it's going to be harder to trade him. So they actually gave him a good opportunity in that he makes it here, or he's got a very tradable contract. Someone's going to come calling for it, and he'll go somewhere else and play, and that's fine.
But I mean, absolutely, this is the right way to kind of manage our defensive prospect pool the way it is right now, because
without a doubt,
I mean, let's be real. I mean, season or 2, probably 2 seasons, Reinbacher and Hudson will be here. This season, I mean, I think Hudson's definitely going to be here, but the season after that, Reinbacher's gonna be here, so that'll kind of be
Reinbacher and Mayu will be here.
So in reality, really, only the first year of that deal, Barron's probably going to play because after this season,
probably, yeah,
gonna have the target on his back. Is kind of
at the deadline. Even I can see at the deadline Barron being traded.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to be
because I think by the deadline we're looking at. I think one of Reinbacher or Mayu will probably be playing here at that point.
I mean, that also depends because then you have to assume that Strubal's not going to be a good defenseman.
Or I'm not assuming that at all. Actually, I heard who was it? You're gonna laugh at who? Pierre Maguire on the Sick podcast. I just saw this actually.
Oh yeah.
And he was talking about Struble, and he said, you guys, the Montreal fans have never really seen the Struble that I know. He hasn't really let himself go the mean side, that physical side of the guy. And he said, This is a monster out there. And, Jack-Eye can't do everything. He can't.
Yeah,
he's going to need a guy like that.
Right. And it started kind of coming out at the end of last year. We saw Struble get a little more
bit,
but
so I don't think Struble's getting moved. It's going to be Harris.
No,
I can't. I'm not saying move Struble. No, but but to say that Barron's going to play is to assume Struble has a weak camp almost.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably looking at Barron as maybe either him or Struble.
I think he's the 7th D. He comes in when there's an injury, or if a guy's not playing well for a couple games.
I look at it differently, and I'm going to say I think Struble and
kind of rotate,
and Barron will kind of alternate.
Yeah, no, I mean I could see that too. I think Jaden Struble deserves ice time.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So they're not gonna. It's not.
I mean, we've seen his hockey skills. Like he's a more than ready defenseman. He's a great skater. Really creative. More creative than I thought he would be. And I think he's better defensively than Justin Barron. You know what I mean?
Barron is gonna have bad games. I don't doubt that. He's gonna have those.
He's gonna have atrocious games,
right?
He's gonna have games at his own end where I have 3 bottles of vodka next to me.
So Struble's gonna play. There's no doubt. Let's take a look back at the chat because we haven't gone.
Yes.
Let's just. It's a podcast we're doing, so we're not gonna be able to spend as much time with the chat, but we're gonna do our best. So let's see who's here. Joe is here. It's morning over there in Australia. Morning, Joe. Morning, Joe. That's actually a show in the U.S. Political one.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Guru, hey Guru. That's a hometown discount type thing. They need to set this team up if good players take pay cuts to have a better chance to win. I don't know if that's Gooley. I think that more Jack-Eye and Barron would have taken more of a home. Do you think Gooley at 5.55 is a hometown discount?
Considering where he could be a year from now, yes.
What I would call it is I don't think he probably wanted more than that. I you know what I mean? I don't think he's the type. I don't think him and his.
He's not. Yeah, he's not greedy. He's not a Toronto Maple Leaf, right? So
right. I mean, same thing as the big 3, that top line, right? The 3 of those guys, we know their attitudes. We know they're more than happy with the contract.
Hopefully my dog won't bark.
I don't think it's an issue of a hometown discount. These are just they have the right attitude. They want to win here.
Yeah, no, I don't see it. I don't see it being a hometown discount for Gooley. For Jack-Eye, I mean, it's a bridge deal. I mean, and Barron is too. I mean, they're bridge deals. So I don't know that. I don't know. I would categorize them that way. That's all I'm saying. Matt Outdoor, Habs trading Harris. I think so too.
That's been the rumor for what 5 years now.
It's been but it's been the rumor knowing all this is coming.
Yeah,
Harris has been the one I think most people think is the guy to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or Barron. I mean, it's been Barron or Harris.
Him,
no, but it's been Barron or Harris. But they just signed Barron, so I don't know. But like I said,
well, I think Barron's a little bit better. He's got a little bit more offensive upside from the back end.
More upside, yeah, more offensive upside.
But again, you get Lane Hudson and Logan Mailloux waiting in the wings, so it's Barron's really gonna have to prove it.
Yes, but Barron's a right side defenseman.
Yeah. Right.
However, there's a premium on those guys. Remember that too.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So that's why I think so.
I will say I do think they need to. Sorry, before we move on, I do think they absolutely need to deal one of them because both of them are no longer waiver exempt as well. So
this is another thing, right? They either hold on to them or they move somebody because the only one with waiver exemption is Struble.
Yeah, Struble and Hudson.
And Hudson, but I mean Hudson's not going anywhere. But yeah, so they have to. That's why I'm almost positive, as much as I can be, but I don't really know that somebody's going to be moved by camp.
It has to.
If anything, it would be another defenseman. I don't think it'll be a forward. It'll be a defenseman.
And I think possibly something coming back, not draft picks, but maybe that's how they fill that. If they decide they want to put somebody other than Roy on that second line wing,
it's really kind of a placeholder too. I mean, to be totally honest, that because
maybe
we know who it's going to be next season. I mean,
it's gonna be Michael Hague. Come on, we all know this by now.
Not Michael Hage. Who do you say Michael Hage?
Yeah, it's Michael Hage, obviously. Ivan Demidov, who's that kid?
Okay.
Come on.
He got me.
No, yeah, obviously. It's Demidov. Yeah, we're waiting for Demidov.
Joe says, is Rick calling Gooley by? When did I do that?
I don't remember that, but
I don't remember that. Huzu. My favorite Gooley moment was in Edmonton. David tried to make one of his moves. Gooley separated him from the puck so cleanly. McDavid dove 4 times.
Was that the game that we lost in overtime? Because there was a penalty call on Gooley at the end of the game where it was
I vaguely remember
no it. Doubt about it. McDavid took a swan dive and they called it, and I flipped the fuck out.
Yeah.
I think I remember that. I think I do remember that.
I didn't fucking touch the guy. What are we doing here?
McDavid
literally did.
What are you watching?
Tony thinks Harris is going to be the 7th D. Okay.
Well, Harris will be the 7th D if they don't trade him.
Right.
Yes, because Struble has waiver exemption, so they have to put Struble. Let's put it this way: true. Harris and Barron, whether you like them or not, Harris and Barron, if you waive them, will get picked up. I don't think that's
more than likely. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially good contracts.
Well, good contracts, and they're still young defensemen that have, some untapped potential there. You know what I mean? Especially in the Barron, so they get claimed right away.
So they can't waive them. So
especially with teams that are looking to get younger on the defensive end, or even a team that's still rebuilding, right? Like either one of those guys would be a good addition there.
Joe thinks we're a great trio ourselves. Awesome. But we're not going to score our goals. We won't score too many goals, though. I'm the trailer on the play, though. I think Gooley could have been 6+ easy. As far as
if you waited until after the year, probably.
Oh, you're talking about million?
And I think that's probably the other reason why it ended up at 5-5, because he's still got that year left on his deal. I think Darren might be right there. I think if they did wait that year until his contract expired, probably would have cost him another $1 million.
So I can see where Darren's going there, and you're right in that it could be a hometown discount because he could have probably got a little bit more. I don't know where I was going. I had a whole thing. I lost my train of thought. And it'll come back to me, but it could be because he could have gotten a little bit more. Oh, this is what it was. And also, one of the years of that contract is his free agency year. So they had to buy that too. So really, when you think about it, he probably did give a bit of a discount. He could have got more.
Yeah.
Because at that age, when you're giving up 1, 2, 3 years of your free agency, they're paying for that. A little extra, right? So, yeah. So there you go. I maybe now agree a little bit more with what Guru said before.
Yeah. All right.
It's still a great contract. Like they didn't really overpay. Like, you know what I mean? It's still a really phenomenal contract.
Yeah. It's even more so.
It's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
Renegade Man, they still need to make a move for a top 6 forward. Well, that's what I was just saying, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a bit.
Though.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it makes it a little harder, and I think they give Joshua Roy that chance.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I think he can handle it. I personally think he's going to do fine there.
It's only for a year as well.
He plays on the third line with them. Like it's fine. Let Joshua get more minutes. Develop his game more. No problem.
Joe says every time he says McGroarty, he feels me gargling. No, not at all.
No. He feels like gargling Rick. So he feels like gargling you.
I feel like gargling. I feel like gargling Rick. No, not he feels like gargle. Okay, I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because
Like
that's the way the name sounds.
something.
I don't know. It's rather random. I was wondering what majority. Okay. That went right over my head there, Joe. Shoots left, plays right. They don't have to trade a defenseman. Not now. No hurry.
I mean, technically not, because Struble doesn't need waivers. He can be sent down, so technically no, they don't. But I think it would be best for them to trade Harris because it's basically been known since the deadline last year that hey, we want to move you or we want to move Jordan Harris. So.
Well, somebody's got like more than somebody.
I think it's even simpler than this, right? I think it's the you got to be proactive than reactive, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like, you got Reinbacher and Mayu who are gonna be here in probably 2 seasons, or like not this season, but the season after, maybe even this season at some point. Like,
right,
you got to be proactive and make a move so that way that's ready to go. It's seamless. Well, you're not at the trade deadline, say for example, and you're just trying to take whatever first come.
No,
first.
they're not going to do that.
Right.
No, I was just thinking while you guys were talking long. No, I was thinking that I could see Harris being one of those training camp moves near the end of camp.
Yeah,
they've seen everybody. They've seen whether Reinbacher, Mayu might be ready. They know what and maybe Harris and Barron could be moved if they feel Reinbacher and Mayu are ready. So yeah, I mean, I could see Harris being moved that late. Training camp time.
And plus, you look at it. If say Reinbacher and Mayu are both ready for sure, and they trade one of those guys, if there's an injury, well, you got Reinbacher and Mayu. You can just call those guys up. You can just call one of them up if you need to. So it's not even a case where, we don't need. It's not a case where we don't have defensive depth. We can't call someone up. No, you have an abundance of defensive depth that you can give these guys a look up if you need.
And I mean, even like Habs, Reinbacher and Mayu, like Adam Engstrom.
And that's the go. You got Engstrom. You got
he's good enough if you need him in a pinch. Like
they got Engstrom, which
they're like 3, 4, or 5 guys deep on defense. Like if someone gets hurt,
yeah, they do. And William Trudeau. I mean, but Engstrom is a guy I don't know enough about, but everything I hear about him is good. He could get a call up this year.
Yeah.
Just to take a look at him, right?
Having this,
depending on where the season goes, if we're way out of it by April somehow, I could see the last couple games. Trudeau is a guy who's, hey, Matheson's a healthy scratch tonight. William Trudeau slots in. I could definitely see that being the case.
Like they gave
same with Adam Engstrom.
Like last year when they gave a couple of guys a look, right? Those guys are going to be the guys. So definitely Engstrom, maybe Trudeau are going to get a look. But I could see Engstrom getting a call up with an injury. Yeah, and maybe even sticking. I don't know enough about the guy, but I mean, everything I hear is good from this kid.
A lot of people think he could end up being a good bottom pair defenseman.
Yeah, I'm not saying he could be a very solid pair, but yeah, he could be in the lineup playing bottom minutes, depending on
a good Kovacevic type of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Which is great. You can never have enough of that, and we get a lot of that on the forward end too, which is just
McGroarty that's out. I don't see that being a rumor anymore even.
Yeah, at least in Montreal. Obviously, it's going to be out there that he'll get traded, but not to Montreal.
Honestly, I think they were interested in him because they didn't know whether they're getting Demidov or not.
Yeah.
Right.
And they got Demidov, and I think that's when the interest in McGroarty went away. Plus, the offer they made to Winnipeg was turned down because they want more. I think you put those two things together, they're not interested.
Yeah, basically. I said it perfectly.
Joe, interesting. This is going to be our segue. Joe says the more others go on about Laine, the more it puts me off the idea. All right, so we're going to segue into the next topic, and this is one that Harry wanted to talk about. It wasn't really on my list, but Harry wants to talk about it, and that's where I said I think me and Harry have opposite views here. I have a feeling Matt is on with me. I have a feeling. I could be wrong there, but I think I know. All right, so there's a ton of rumors for a month or so about
I feel longer, 2 months probably.
Maybe longer, about the Habs being interested in Laine. If you follow at all Grant McCagg, he's in on that. He wants them to do it. They have the money. They could do this.
Yes. Especially with Price and LTIR.
Especially with price contract, right? So that's not an issue. It's a 2-year. He's got 2 years left.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, 8.7. From what I'm hearing, though, Columbus would hold a couple of million, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So they'd retain that. That's what I've seen out there.
I mean, if that's the case, right? If you're only paying him like 5 something for 2 years, like that's
make a difference.
Yeah,
could make a difference. But the problem with that for me is, I'll get to Harry in a sec. But say you make that deal, he's here, you got him for the 1 year. Demidov shows up. Now what do you do? I mean, you can knock Newhook back to the third line. Like you could do things, I guess. But for me, I don't know. The 2 years, it doesn't work for me. Anyway, Harry, what's your opinion on this topic?
So I'll give my general thoughts about Laine first before the rumors. I was a big Laine guy. When he was drafted, I was just getting into hockey, and of course, him and Matthews, they both made their debuts at the same time. I think in terms of the power and the flex, Laine has a better shot than Matthews. Now, of course, in terms of how they actually put the goals in, Matthews, yeah, obviously he's been better. But I love Laine's shot. I think he's got a top 10, maybe even top 5 shot in the NHL.
No, I would agree with that.
He's got a very powerful shot. His shot reminds me of Elias Pettersson. A lot of power behind them. Great wristers. Good slappers and one-timers. He's very great there. Even a good playmaker. I think Laine's playmaking ability is a little bit underrated. And of course, despite the injury concerns, I guess you could say. In terms of him coming to Montreal, I would love it. I'd love to have a guy like Laine, even if it's just for the 2 years. If, say, you just end up walking him to free agency, for some reason, you walk him to free agency after that second year because you have Demidov, who's going to be that replacement for Laine's second-line right wing. I still think for that 1 year, to have guys like Doc and Newhook be able to basically train for Demidov by having a guy like Laine there. And this is not a knock to Joshua. I think him on the third line is a perfect spot for him. I think he would do well if he were given the second line wing spot this year. But I think if you go out and get a guy like Laine, despite the pressure of Montreal, Laine would play very well. You look at the places he's been. Winnipeg, he performed very well. Columbus, he's been on and off, but then again, it's Columbus. What do they really have aside from Laine? He's not played in a place yet where it's a team that can be successful and can really push him to be a top-end player like he can be. Of course, I can't ignore the injuries. He had a couple of them last year and went into the NHLPA Players Assistance Program. Of course, he just got released from that. I think 4 days ago. Last week he got released.
Yeah.
Not really. He got released from that. He didn't get released from his contract. If he did, the Habs would have signed him already. But
somebody would have.
Laine. Last year, he put up 6 goals and 9 points in 18 games. Yes, he missed a lot of hockey with injuries, and a lot of the season was with the NHLPA. He was actually admitted in January. Not admitted. He was put into the program.
He put himself
into the program right at the end of January 28th. He put him in at 1:36 p.m. It has the exact time.
That's important.
Yeah, it's very important. He was in there until 1:54 on the 26th. No. He's been in there for a while. So he missed the last 2.5 months. That's about 25, 30-ish games.
Something like that.
Say he plays those, that only takes the season total up to 40. If you have a guy like Laine with the shot that he has, the playmaking ability that he has, the great offense, and you have guys like Newhook and Doc around him who are not only good offensively, but can be used defensively to make up for any potential lack of effort from Laine. Not necessarily lack of effort, but just lack of defensive knowledge, I guess you could say, from
ability.
Yeah, defensive ability, yeah. You still get a probable 30-40 goal scorer out of Laine. I still think he has the shot to be a 30-goal scorer if he can stay healthy. That is really the biggest concern or the biggest question with him is, can he stay healthy? I honestly think if you play him in a system like Montreal, he can stay healthy. I think that it's a team where you look at, again, Winnipeg and Columbus. Really, there was just Dustin Byfuglien in Winnipeg to protect Laine if he were to get hit. Or Chris Thorburn was there, I think, the first year or two. And you look at Columbus, they really haven't had a whole lot. If I go back to the first year that he was there, technically you could say David Savard, but he's not a big fighter. He's really just a, go in, he'll shove you a bit. That's not to discredit his his physical ability of Savard, but he's not a fighter.
Not really.
You look at 22-23. I'm not seeing anybody here that really is pushing that grinder aside from maybe Mathieu Olivier. The Habs have Jaden Struble, Arbor Jacki, Michael Pezzetta, Josh Anderson. Yeah. But you have these guys who are not afraid.
Lane Hudson will drop the gloves if need be.
Lane Hudson would as well, it seems, if you're going off his Olympics.
I still watch that fight on replay. I'm like, wow, like he just went, no, come over here, I'm beating you up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lane just took that guy. Plus, you got Lane and Laine. And Laine, they're so similar.
He did wax on, wax off on the guy. You didn't see what
he basically did that.
He did Karate Kid.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. but I lost my train of thought. We were joking there for a second. Laine's got guys who can protect him if he were to come to Montreal, and not guys like Mathieu Olivier who, if he gets hit, they'll respond. No, guys that will impose themselves physically, so you do not want to. So you don't go after him. And what BL's saying is the dude's 6'5", 215 pounds, not 235. But BL, you still need guys who can protect him. He is a superstar in the league. That's like saying, if, say, Sidney Crosby were 6'5". Right. Oh, he's 6'5", 215 pounds. Do you expect people to protect him? This is a star goal scorer. Yeah. You want people protecting him. Who cares if he's 6'5", 215 and can defend himself? You do not want Patrick Laine fighting, just like you do not want Sidney Crosby fighting with the amount of concussions that he's had. You don't want to see him fighting. So you need guys
to
protect him. I
at
find
this
it
point
funny. Paul Duffy's agreeing with BL Duff, by the way. I just find that really funny.
And he was agreeing with you right on about Laine, so he's in the middle there on both of you guys. Duff.
Oh, okay. I like that, Paul. Also
earlier, BL. Right on Harry. Laine is a true sniper.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I see it. He's a pure sniper. Exactly. But BL, how is this guy a superstar? You look at what he's done. Again, firstly, he's got a superstar level shot. He has a top 5, top 10 shot in the NHL. That should not be something you sneeze at. This is a guy who's put up 40 goals, 70 points.
Yes, goal scoring IQ is still off the charts. Like, it's still there. He hasn't lost that at all.
And I'm going to tell you how he's not a superstar.
Yeah, and even when he's
I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how he's not a superstar. Hasn't been doing that consistently for 3, 4, 5 years. You got to do that. You want to be a superstar, you better be doing that.
But I will then bring this
up. And I'm not saying he's a superstar. That's only the dude over there. But
I will
give him
he's on his own. No,
he was in Columbus, and Columbus is kind of a fucking dumpster fire and a half.
But
really,
if I could bring this up,
isn't the best place to be, especially if you're still a younger forward like that in this league. But yeah, I mean, I'm with Rick on, like, I don't think he's a superstar, but his shot certainly still is. I mean,
he's got a great shot. I didn't say nothing about his shot. I just said he didn't do it consistently since he's been in the league. He's not a superstar.
But if I could bring this up, you look at Laine when he was moved at 22 years old to the Blue Jackets. Year by year, the top players that have been in Columbus during this rebuild, by the way, if I can just go through the top 5 for who their team leading scorers were. In 2021, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Cam Atkinson, Jack Roslovic, Seth Jones, and Max Domi.
And they're all gone.
They're all gone. 21-22, Jakub Voracek, who, pretty good. Oliver Bjorkstrand.
I think pretty much held together with duct tape at this point. He's done.
Yeah. Patrick Laine, Gustav Nyquist, and Zach Werenski. That's 21-22. 22-23.
Gone. Werenski's very good. But then they said, shiny Gaudreau and Johnny Gaudreau. And Johnny Gaudreau went, that's hockey.
Yeah, and this is where he comes in. Johnny Gaudreau, Patrick Laine, Boone Jenner, Jack Roslovic, and Kent Johnson. And then this past year, Johnny Gaudreau, Zach Werenski, Kirill Marchenko, Boone Jenner, Dmitry Voronkov with 34 points is 5th. Laine has not been in a good organization. Yes, he's had a couple good players around him.
Of course.
But you look at that 2021 season as the kind of outlier 10 goals, 21 points in 45 games. Yeah, he was only on pace for 20 goals, 40 points. You look at the fact that he played 56 games the year after, 26 goals and 56 points, on pace for about 80 points, roughly 35-ish goals, 35, maybe 40. And then 2 seasons ago in 22-23, 22 goals, 52 points in 55 games, also still on pace for 75 points. And just about that 30-35 goal range. And then this past year, yeah, a little bit of a grain of salt, only on pace for 40 points, but on pace for about 25 goals. And keep in mind, that's only playing 18 games because of injuries and whatnot. When he's healthy, he produces. He is a great offensive player. If he's staying healthy, he's putting up consistent 35, 40 goal seasons. So, okay, yeah, maybe calling him a superstar a little bit much. He's still an elite player when he is healthy. When he's healthy, he can be that 30, 40 goal scorer. And I think that's something that the Habs can use. Apparently, he's even listed as a left wing, actually, on Hockey DB. So he can play both the right and the left wing.
Most wingers today, by the way, can.
Yeah, but for some reason, specifically, he's listed as the left wing. I remember him really being a right wing.
No, but even doesn't matter what they're listed as anyways. Most wingers today can play the other side. Mm-hmm. So that's okay. For me, to counter all that is for $8.7 million a season, there are too many question marks there.
Right. No, and I'm with you there. I think
this team doesn't really need him, and there's a lot of question marks. That's a lot of money. Not only you have to pay him the 8.7, or if they retain a little bit, okay, you've got to give up something to get him.
Well, keep in mind, and that's where I would say it depends on what you need to give up. If we'll be able to mess with your laptop out the window now because I'm not going to shut up about this. But that's where it depends on what we have to give up. If it's we want assets to give up Laine with retention, or if it's what the rumor's been, which they'll do a hockey trade. And I'm not throwing this out, but say example, something like say Laine for Gallagher and say a second, for example. If they want something like that, I'd go for something like that, or say Anderson or say Dvorak or whatever. You throw a player like that. Or if they want, say, a Philip Mazar, Jordan Harris, and a pick, that's where you're getting into a little bit too much. You're getting into a bit too much for a guy like Laine. So for me, it depends on what the Blue Jackets want. If they want to make a more hockey deal, I'd be willing to do that. If they want to make we are rebuilding and want more than 1 or 2 assets, I'd be a little iffy. It depends if he could stay healthy, which in that case, you'd look back in hindsight and say, should have made the deal. But I agree. The injury concerns are a little bit of a question mark. But if you get him for the second line and he plays, for example, and he gets injured, then that's when you bump Josh Waugh or Josh Anderson or Josh Gallagher or Josh Armia. Apparently all our wingers are named Josh. No, but that's when you bump Waugh, Gallagher, Armia, Anderson, whatever. That's when you rotate them into that second right wing position. And then you're kind of back to where all you got to do is really just adjust one thing. And if I can just not spoil my lines, but if you get Laine, assuming that say you move Anderson, say that Anderson's the guy you move, that's really not even all that bad. Oh, wow. Ray does not want Anderson moved. Jesus. Ray does not want Anderson moved. Oh, my God.
Dog, not me. I don't bark.
No, but say you move Anderson.
Again.
He really doesn't want Anderson moved. All right. Say you move Gallagher in this deal. Say you move Gallagher in this deal. Notice dog didn't bark. You move Gallagher.
But somebody should be laughing, though.
Yeah. But
somebody should be laughing. You're going to move Gallagher in this deal. I'm laughing.
No, all right. Say you move Dvorak. Say it's Dvorak. Say Dvorak is second and a minor prospect. Someone like, I'm trying to think. I don't want to say Owen Beck, but say a guy that's like an Owen Beck where they're more of a depth kind of guy. You move that for Laine. I think that's perfectly fine. You get rid of a roster spot by getting a roster spot. All you do is you move in Laine on the second wing, and then you'd bump Evans up to that third line center, which I'll say, I think he actually played very well in that spot last year when Dvorak was hurt. I don't think there's a lot of risk there. And then again, if he gets injured, you just bump Waugh or whoever into that spot, and you just adjust the lines accordingly.
The risk is Owen Beck. I'm not giving.
No, I'm not saying it's Owen Beck. I'm saying the risk with the injuries, and again, what you might have to give up. Again, if it's a hockey trade where they just want a roster player and then a prospect, for example, compared to if they want 2 or more prospects. Of course, if it's Patrick Laine for Owen Beck, for example, yeah, I'm doing that every day of the week. I like Owen Beck, but hey, to get Laine, I'll do it. Okay. No, they wouldn't do that unless it's literally just to get rid of his salary. Then yeah, maybe. But at this point, I don't think Laine is necessarily a pure cap team
this year.
And potentially,
Dvorak's
but even then, he's a 4th line center, maybe a 3rd line center. You can find those anywhere. You can get rid of that for a top 6 goal scorer. I would think. I like Owen Beck, and I there could be a chance he makes the team. To get rid of Owen Beck, you get a potential 30-40 goal scorer. You gotta weigh that.
My problem here is that, yes, he's a potential 30-goal scorer, I'll say. But he's taking a spot away from a kid that needs to develop in there. And I don't like that. I want to see Joshua Roy in there. I think it's time for him to be there. It's time to see what he's got. Is he a second-line player? I think they've got guys here that need that spot, and I don't know. And it's not just Laine per se. I'm not that big on them bringing in somebody for 1 year or 2 years, probably just one, for the placeholder when Roy could do that. And I think this too. If Roy can't, I think it's just as easy. You could find somebody and make a trade and put somebody in there. And I don't like it partially because I want a young guy in there to get that experience.
I completely get that. I understand. At that point, you can still play Wall on the wing. You just have to move Newhook down to the 3rd line, which I know might not necessarily
be like that either.
Do. I completely get that. And I'm not saying that's what they should do if they were to get Laine. But you can give Wall that time on that 2nd line. You can move Newhook down. You can even switch them, like you're saying with someone like Struble and Barron, where you can switch those guys. You can switch Wall and Newhook occasionally, see who might fit better. The talk is they probably want Newhook as the 3rd line center. I would think if Philip Mazar is going to be traded, then yeah, I think they want Newhook at 3rd line center. In that case, you try out Wall there, or maybe Laine ends up working well. Use him next year with Demidov on that 2nd line. You have a 3rd line of Newhook and Wall. Pretty good depth, if you ask me. So, to me, I the only way the Habs don't win this is if they give up someone like a Philip Mazar or a I'm trying to think of a guy being moved that would be realistic, but like say a Philip Mazar and a 1st-round pick, for example. If it's something like that, yeah, that's the way we lose. If you acquire Laine, either, even if it doesn't work, it's, oh, well, you know what? Hey, we tried it. It just didn't work. And if it works, you've got a 30-40 goal scorer if he stays healthy, and you have him for a 2nd line with potentially Ivan Demidov and Kirby Dach. That I think is well worth the risk. Again, depending on the price, if it's like what Paul said, if it's what Columbus wants, if what Columbus needs, if they want roster guys or if they want prospects, that's what it would depend on. I don't see a way that if they want roster players that you cannot win this deal. Personally,
I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I'm definitely not. Matt, you haven't said much on what side of that.
I haven't had a chance.
Eh?
I haven't had a fucking chance, dude.
Well, it's like the usual episode. You don't say more than 5 words.
Oh, well, now's your chance.
Yeah, go for it.
If it all depends, for me, it depends on if Columbus is going to retain money. If they don't want to retain money, I'm not taking on $8 million for 2 years. I'm not doing it. Sorry. But
what about
they say,
salary?
hey, listen, we'll retain $3 million. I'll listen.
Yeah.
Because I kind of agree with Harry, right? Like, you could move Newhook down, to like the 3rd line next year. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that, but Demidov's coming in, right? You bring Laine in this year, right? I mean, I think Marty St. Louis could also be a really good coach for him. Probably one of the, the better coaches that he's had, or just in general, the way that he coaches, I think could really benefit Patrick Laine. I mean, they could bring him, if they were to bring him in this year and he kind of bounces back, and now going forward, your 2nd line next year is Demidov, Dach, and Patrick Laine, like, Jesus. So it depends on if they want to retain money. That's kind of where I am. If they want to retain money, I'll listen.
That's a good point. I've been waiting to actually say pretty much what BL's saying here. He says, you guys spoke and speak at great lengths about how much emphasis that Gorton and Hughes place on character. Are you talking about bringing in Patrick Laine? Now, I guess he's saying that there's a question of his character. But I thought of this. This is what I was thinking is character's a big thing here, considering he's been in the player assistance program. And I think it's not for drugs or alcohol. From what I get, it might have been just for video games. But that speaks a lot to, I think, what they want to avoid.
I mean, I didn't know what he was in for.
No, from what anybody knows, video games. I'm honestly, from what I can tell, he had trouble putting down the controller.
Yeah, when he first came in, we know he had issues with that. So
and he stays up all night playing games, and he's tired the next day, and he's got, and it's affecting his game, from what they're saying. It just speaks of character, and this is a big character team. I agree with BL there that I think that's something that they're going to look at. I'm not saying he's got a bad character or not. I don't know the guy, but I'm saying this. I would worry about this.
No,
I mean that's fair.
Again, I didn't know any of this, but yeah, I mean, obviously it'll be something they'll look at. I mean, again, we don't know how he is yet. I mean, he's only been out of the program a week. We don't know how he's kind of worked on himself, but I mean, I do think the fact that he did check himself in, which I think is, good to see. Like, he did take responsibility, but yeah, I mean, it's certainly a question.
And I'm not saying he's.
I think would speak more to his character if he checked himself in.
I mean, it could be that he checked himself in because he was told he had to. We don't know this,
right?
I'm just saying, but I tend to be on BL's side with that here. And again, it's a
very, very good point.
I'll concede this thing. If you make that trade and it works, that's a huge home run, and I don't doubt that. But it's those question marks that bother me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
No, it's legitimate. Totally legitimate concerns.
All right, we spent a ton of time on this. Let's move on to something else, and that something else is
something that we can all agree on, obviously.
Maybe not, but I think we'll agree more often.
Also, I will say, Tony, are you guys going to waste the whole show? Waste the whole show on something that's not ever going to happen? We've done it before, and we'll do it again. You don't like it? Well, then we'll watch the next episode. Then, yeah.
I will say this:
I'm not going to tell you to leave. Fuck, you're a viewer.
We spent more time on this than I wanted to, so I won't disagree with that. Okay, so we're going to talk about a projected lineup for Montreal. Who we think. It's basically to start the season, because during the season, you never end up from what the team was on day one to what it is on the last day. It's never the same exactly, right? Yeah. So, we're going to go over the forwards and the defense. I don't think we need to go over the goalies. Because personally, I think, and I said it in my video, that even if Sam and Kane Primo have so preseasons, I don't think that's gonna mean that they're not starter and backup.
As much as I'd love Dobesh to make the team now, it's not gonna happen. 2-3 years from now, yeah, probably. It's not right now though.
I mean, Dobesh will get call up if someone gets hurt.
Yeah, he would, but just to start the season, no, he's not.
No, I don't think it. So we're going to talk about goalies.
No.
All right. So this is what I've got.
First of all, I
got a mouse.
I'm curious to see what we all have for our top line.
I got to change my batteries. I got to change batteries on my mouse. So.
Oh my god.
Because I've got some stuff to look at.
All right. While you're doing that, I will say real quick.
I got to get a new mouse tomorrow. I'm going shopping. This thing, it's eating up batteries like crazy.
Ooh.
You ever have that problem?
I'm still on wired mouses.
This one is just eating up batteries. Nice. I got to change them every week, and I didn't have to for a month and a half when I got it. 2 months. So there's something wrong there. So just give me a second, and I'll be able to call up all those things that I want to call up.
No problem. You can edit this out in post. It's not like we're live. Oh wait
a second. Okay,
but I hope you guys are having a wonderful time right now. By the way, hope you guys are having a
wonderful time.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I've got here. My alarm went off. Perfect time.
Oh, you got your alarm. Oh, nice.
All right, so we're gonna take a look at what, defense first or forwards first? Defense first.
Yeah, I think defense, because I think we all might have the same thing. So get that out of the way.
Well, I know Rick and Ives are different.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so first pair defense, and if you're in the audience there, and you guys are gonna have to monitor this because I'm on my brand. I don't see the comments right now, so you guys monitor the comments.
Yep.
Let us know what you guys have. First pair. Yeah, well, Harry first.
Thank you, Rick. I've got Matheson and Gooley. I feel like we're very much leaning towards that. Matheson, pure offensive defenseman. Gooley is more of a two-way kind of guy. We know that he's got that offensive edge to him as well, but very good defensively. Putting him with a guy like Matheson, who kind of has those lapses at least once or twice a game, I think that's probably not the perfect first pair that you can go for, but I think it's the one that makes the most sense and the one that the Habs are
right now
leaning towards.
Matt, agree or disagree?
I have Gatherson and Mooley.
You have Matheson and
Gatherson and Mooley.
Gatherson and Mooley.
They're bringing in two new guys. Nice.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and I think it's fairly obvious that's going to be the first pair until Hudson and Reinbacher break.
Fairly obvious. Yeah, I mean I've got that too. So let me put that up. We're probably going to be off camera for this part of the thing once we start this. Oh, wrong one. Forwards.
Oh no! Spoiler alert! I wonder if we're going to have different first lines.
Spoiler. Who knows? Okay. So Matheson and Gooley, yeah, I don't think that's in doubt. That's probably your two best defensemen right now on the team. So
yeah.
So there you go. Okay, so that's number one. Next line, second pairing.
Hudson Savard. I mean, worked
Hudson
very well the couple games Hudson was here. I think they'd stick with it. Savard's a perfect pairing for him right now as a veteran.
Yep.
Kind of teach him a little bit on the defensive end and couple form on the defensive end, obviously. But I think it's good. It's a great pair for Hudson to continue to learn and develop at the NHL level.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100% I agree. And you know what? It's funny because I guess in the last week or so, people have been putting up their projected lineups. I've only seen one guy have something different than Hudson, having Savard with Hudson. And I'm trying to remember who it was, who the player was. But it was like, I think Barron. And I saw that and I went, what? No way, man. There's no fucking way that's happening. We're live. We shouldn't be swearing. All right. So I guess we're in agreement. We're in agreement there. Yep. Third pairing.
Barron and Harris, obviously, duh. No, Jack-Eye and Struble. Come on. It's Jack-Eye and Struble.
Harry, same here. Arbor and Struble. Barron's the seventh defenseman.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Jack-Eye
and Barron. Because we went over this. Struble's going to have waiver exemption. Barron and Harris will not. So unless you should have said, and if there's a trade, if they trade Harris or Barron, then maybe you could have that. But I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think that's possible because of the waiver exemption. So
Joe has Jack-Eye and Mayu.
1 for me, 0 for those guys. No, just all right. So we did have a disagreement there, and then on that, whoever's like Harris or Struble as the 7th.
Yeah,
with Barron, because Barron also, he's the natural right side defenseman. You guys forgot that. I think it gives him a leg up there until he proves that he shouldn't be there. Unless he plays his way out.
Barron. That's why I have Struble in there, regardless of the waiver exemption. I think Struble is just better.
Okay, but until Barron plays his way out of there. We're talking basically
about 3 games into the year.
We are talking the start of the season. I kind of made that point that it's the start of the season.
All right, game 2. Barron.
Game 2. Yeah, probably.
You said until Barron plays his way out. All right,
it could be. It could be, but first game at least.
I mean, to be fair, who's ruling out that Jack-Eye is going to see Barron and say, "I don't want you," slash him? Harris, sorry, you got no.
It doesn't mean I'm right 100%, but I think it makes most sense. But it doesn't mean I'm right because we don't know how it's gonna. We don't know how training camp's gonna go, and we don't know who they're moving.
No.
Like we don't know that 100%. All right, we got the defense. Okay, line one. I already gave it away. Do you guys disagree with that?
I see Caulfield and Slav switching. I think they're going to stick with what they did last year.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think those.
Oh, Slav is a left wing. Sorry, Slav is a left wing. Caulfield a right wing.
That's fine.
No, I know that, but
I think they can play either side anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think,
but I don't think
if you don't have this as the top line, then you need to go to the mental hospital.
Right, that's true. But I don't think they face off. I think what they do is they face off this way, and then how the play goes, they move around.
Yeah, they rotate.
You might be right on that, actually. Yeah. So
that's how I think.
But either way, we're all right. We're right about the three guys we have.
You want Caulfield on his side where he can one time the puck, and that's on the left.
Yeah, both those guys.
But that's why then they switch. Yeah. But I think they start out because they're listed that way.
I think you're right on that
way. But again, they both can play either wing. Both those guys
can
play either wing.
By the way, Paul, don't worry. We're not forgetting Reinbacher. We just don't think he's going to make it this year. He spends the year in the AHL to just get used to North American ice, and then next year he's up.
It's, again, to start the season. I don't think Reinbacher makes it out of camp, but I do believe Reinbacher either gets a good look during the season or comes up because of injury and sticks around. I think that's a big possibility. But
I mean, I won't rule out that he makes it out of camp and he's on that third pair with Jack. I'm not going to rule that out. I just don't think it'll happen.
From what I understand is they want to see a bigger sample size in the AHL from him.
Yeah, which is completely fair, and I want that too.
That's from what I'm reading. What I can tell is that okay. Who's line two? This one shouldn't be that hard either. But we might have a difference here. So who's line two? Matt, you go first.
I got Josh Anderson, Kirby Dach, Alex Newhook. I went with Anderson over Watt just because of experience, but that could go either way. I think it's close. I think it could go either way on that second line, on that wing.
Okay. I've got Newhook, Dach, and Waugh. I think Waugh's going to really surprise people in camp. Like what Paul's saying about Reinbacher, I think Waugh's going to really take that step and show himself to be a legit second liner. Like I know you said, Rick, that Waugh could be. I like Waugh. It's a Waugh in Montreal. Come on. Yes. What can go wrong here? This one can't allow 9 goals because he can't stop the puck.
So that can't happen because he won't give up 9 goals. And there won't be a problem.
There won't be a problem there. But no, Newhook, Dach, and Waugh. I think Dach and Newhook have great chemistry. They showed it last year. Yeah. Waugh's going to be a good complementary piece on that line.
Yeah, no.
For the year until Demidov gets here.
I'm in agreement there. Why not Anderson? I think you give Waugh the chance to see, and if he's good, you keep him there. If he fails, then you try Anderson there, because maybe by that point he's back and he's not. He's had a comeback year, or it looks like he's coming back for a good year. But I don't think you start the season with Anderson there. I really don't.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I will say
it could happen. It could happen. He's not wrong, but I don't think that's how they go.
Yeah, no. I will say if Waugh doesn't succeed, I think it'll be a mix of Armia, Gallagher, and Anderson though.
Could be, or they go out and they sign somebody or they trade. Maybe that's when the Harris trade happens or whatever.
Maybe, right?
I think they have that in their pocket. Mm-hmm. And there'll be guys and there'll be teams that want to trade. I mean, I don't think that's a problem.
If I can go to the chat real quick, Tony, Cole, Suzuki, Waugh, and then Slap, Dach, and Andy. And
yeah, I don't think that. You know what though? I'll say this: I don't think Slav potentially moves lines yet, but I think when if Demidov gets here and he's a hit and he moves up to line 1, in my way of seeing it, I put Slav, Dach, and I get somebody else big, or Newhook could be the guy. But I want those 2 big guys together. Yeah, I could see that. But not
I'd put Caulfield on the second line if Demidov ends up panning. As much as I love Caulfield.
The thing is, we've already seen that chemistry. I know it was only a game. But we saw that chemistry between
Dach and Newhook.
Right.
That chemistry was there.
And I think
that is true.
I think Demidov, Suzuki, and Caulfield could be a fire.
Oh, it could be. It very well could be.
I really do think that could be fire. So that's how I see it. Okay, line 3.
Okay.
I go first.
Ooh.
Can I go first? Because I haven't yet. Even though, no, you
Yeah,
know
sure,
what?
go for it, yeah.
I've got the overlays. Who went first? Matt, you go first then.
Joshua, Christian Dvorak, and Brendan Gallagher.
Right, because you had Anderson on the okay, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, your reasoning. Any reasoning, or just
I mean, like I said,
sense?
I really the only thing I kind of struggled with again was Andy and Watt, because again I think they could flip flop.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I think it's close there. Again, I went with Andy because he's got the experience. That's why I put him on line 2. So it just goes on to line 1.
Yeah, and I think the other 2 makes sense.
At that center position, like I don't think it's out of the question that like Devo could get put in a package with someone. Like I don't know, and it's just the last year of his deal too.
Yeah, but we can't really predict that going
forward. So for the start of the season purposes, I have Devo there.
We got to work with what we got right now.
Right.
You might want to try to say, oh well, they're going to go after this guy, but you don't know that. We don't know this.
Right. That's why I have Devo there. Right. That's it. He's the third line center right now.
And if Devo's healthy, he's in the lineup.
Yeah, and he's good. He's very good defensively. The offense might not necessarily be there, but he's great defensively.
But he's in the lineup if he's healthy.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, Harry, who do you got?
This might be a bit weird. I've got Gallagher, Dvorak, and Anderson. Despite Anderson having a horrible season last year, I do. Matt really does not like me having Anderson.
No, I whacked my elbow on my desk.
Yeah, sure, it was your elbow.
Yeah.
No, but Gallagher had a good final 15-20-ish game. Oh, just switched. Okay.
No, you're not. It's not weird. I'm just saying it's not weird. That's what you have.
Yeah, no, but that's funny. All you did was you have Andy and Gallagher. Gallagher. Who's Gallagher? Oh
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
That's what his wife calls him. No.
Gallagher. But Gallagher had a good last 15-20 games of the year, something like that.
I like to say second half. He had a pretty good second half.
I mean, aside from the
overall, I thought he had a pretty decent year. I remember, Rick. I mean, you remember those first couple games where like, oh shit,
oh god,
how is he gonna make it? And this is it for him. And then
he played all the games,
and
he played all the games except the ones he got. He had
he got suspended. Yeah,
only games he missed.
Yeah, so it was 77 games total.
77 games.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give you that. He had a good second half. I'll give you that one. So I think they'll reward him. I could see him going on that second line, like Paul said. Newhook and Gallagher had some chemistry. I did see that a little bit.
If there's an injury, maybe second line, no.
But
you can't skate with those guys.
No, I could see it though. Like he said, Newhook and Gallagher had chemistry. I could see it. But I think they want Gallagher with 2 speedy guys. Dvorak's not necessarily a fast guy, but he's got some pretty good skating. Anderson, of course, we know he has wheels. He just can't put everything else together. I think they might be banking on Gallagher being able to get in front of the net and Devo playing defense and Andy having a fairly all right shot with Gallagher going for the tips. I think they might try and rely on that again. So yeah, I think that's really just a get your shit together line for Dvorak and Anderson. And then Gallagher's just that, hi, I'm a veteran. I'm a A.
The way Andy was shooting the puck last year, I'd be scared if I was Galley in front of the net.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
might want to bubble wrap his fucking hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call this the trade deadline line.
Yeah, all 3 guys could be eligible for that
because it's right.
Oh shit, yeah.
It could. I don't think so though. But listen,
I mean Dvorak for sure. If we're out of it,
these are 3 guys that if they're healthy and in the line, you got to play them. You got to play them. Are you playing Galley at $6.5 million on the 4th line, or Anderson at 5? You're not.
I was considering it, but I ultimately.
I don't think they're 4th line players. First of all,
no, they're not.
So you're not. So this is
your point. I agree. I can't see Galley playing on that second line with Doc and Newhook because, quite frankly, I agree. No. He can't catch up with them. But those 2 guys can circles around him. It wouldn't work.
He can't handle top line minutes anymore either.
No,
it wouldn't.
No, so that's where I see it because I mean, to me, that's where you play those guys. I don't know how any better explanation than that. They're good. They'd be good on the 3rd line. That could be a bit of a scoring checking line too. There's no, I think that could work.
Like here's the funny thing about Anderson. He has a good shot. I think he'd work a lot better as a third line checking forward if he wasn't trying to score.
And that might get him back to his game by just working on
by being more of a checker and then scoring as a result.
Work and the game comes back.
Yeah, which is funny. You don't let him score, which would make him score more.
Maybe, right?
It's how that works sometimes.
You just let him. You just give the puck when the net's empty from the other end of the fucking ring.
You got to try something, right? You got to try something.
Yeah.
All right,
I do like Anderson as a checking forward, though. But yeah, let's move on, I guess.
No. If you had more to say, it's fine. I just was saying, if we're done, let's move on to the fourth line.
Oh no, but I think that's funny. Like I said, Anderson is a checking forward. I like him. Get him to hit more. He's a big body. He's what, 6'4", 200-something pounds.
Yep.
I gotta look this up really quickly because it's gonna bug me if I don't find out.
It might be 6'3", but he's 6'3" or 6'4".
6'3", 224 pounds of man. That is muscle. I don't think I saw this guy lay more than 10 hits last year, which is weird because he apparently was second on the team in hits. I did not see him lay more than a handful of hits last year. Now, I'm not saying every hit needs to be bone crushing.
You know what? His the first slump, the 24 games, that's what he was doing though. That's how he scored finally. He was good for a few games, and then he went back into a slump.
Yeah, it was
and he didn't
5
work
goals
his
in
way
3
out
games
like
or something like that.
He didn't work his way out the second time. The first time
exactly,
he worked hard,
no.
but not the second time. My only problem with those two guys, Galley and Anderson, both just got married. Did they soften up, or is that
their stamina is going to be weak to start the year? I think we can say that their stamina is going to be a bit weak.
Yeah, stamina could be in question.
I'm really
eat a lot of red meat. They got to eat a lot of red meat and oysters. It'll be fine. Okay, so fourth line. Let's go to the fourth line.
All right, yeah. So for my fourth line, I'll go this time.
Can I just
this? Of course.
So fourth line, this guy's not going to be on it.
Yes.
Harvey Pinard had surgery, broken leg. They had to repair it, and he's gone for 4 months. So he's not there. It opens up a spot for either Pezzetta or someone else. So, okay, who do you think?
All right, I'll go first because Matt went first last time. I've got Pezzetta.
How do you break his leg, by the way, just before we get to this?
I don't know.
I think it was practice. It was something in practice. I don't think we know exactly what, but
I don't know what happened.
If anyone in the chat knows, you can put it. And also, I do agree with Derek. I think regardless, Harvey Pinard would have started the year in Laval, but
could have possibly, yes.
I think he would have, yeah.
But for me, there's like 4 or 5 players that are vying for that last spot right now.
Yeah,
Oliver Kapanen, Owen Beck. There's a couple of them. I will say, Tony.
I'm not sure about.
I love the Brendan Gignac shout out, by the way.
I'm not sure about Kapanen though. I'm trying to find out if he's not on the roster.
I know he's signed an ELC right now.
I know he signed an ELC, but I'm not positive he's going to be at camp though. I think it's because I heard something, but I can't remember. So I'm just saying, Kapanen might not for whatever reason.
Yeah, might. I mean, yeah, could be. But if he is, then if he is at camp, he will vie for that. He will potentially push for that spot.
Definitely, yes.
But my fourth line, I have Pezzetta, Evans, and Armia. And as much as I'd love to put Armia on that third line, even give him a reward with that second line for a pretty good season by what we expected out of him, he has chemistry with Evans. I don't think any of us can deny that. He is really good when he plays with Jake Evans. And I saw a lot of that last year on that third line when they were playing together. Once Dvorak got hurt, I really like what they can do together. There was a couple goals where I'd see Evans passing to Armia, and I was like, how the hell did he find Armia there? And they seem to have a good connection.
When he turns into Mario Armia, Evans turns into Luigi Evans.
And we'll also go back to the Stanley Cup run. Armia on the fourth line was really good on the fourth line in that cup run.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Alex Barré-Boulet as well. Renegade man, he could vie for a fourth line spot too. I'm a big Alex Barré-Boulet fan. He'll vie as well. I don't know how I forgot him, but you got Evans and Armia. Like I said, they've got chemistry. Pezzetta, kind of a mainstay, kind of a fan favorite at this point, which is crazy for me to say. Given a year ago, I would have not wanted him on the fourth line at all. But yeah, Pezzetta had a good year last year. I'd like to see him stick, especially because this might be his last year if Florian Jack says anything about it next year.
And he's on his final year of the contract, so they sign him. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. No, even if it takes 2-3 years, I think Jack-Eye is going to be the new Pezzetta whenever he comes in.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Down the road, but not this season.
I think I mentioned. I think I said it was Florida.
He's a Jack-Eye. I mean, he's a Jack-Eye I said in my video,
maybe this year
I wouldn't put it past him to be able to just wow them. And,
not at all.
He's on the team. Like, I wouldn't put it past a Jack guy to do that.
I wouldn't either. And especially because he's got Arbor who's probably telling him, like, hey, yo, when you're doing this, do this. He's probably helping him along the way.
Right. So
wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever. Which I know it's weird to say that. Which I know it's weird to say that of a guy who had 0 points in 4 AHL games. But, again, he's a Jack guy. Arbor came in after doing almost nothing. Well, I mean, he didn't play in the AHL, but playing in the OHL, winning a championship. That's all he did. No, but Arbor came in with not much hype, we should say. Florian could very well do the same, but I do think it's Pizzetta, Evans, and Armia. I think they want to keep that. Pizzetta's a good checker. He's an okay fighter, and then Evans, Armia, your offensive guys there. Evans, great defensively. Armia's not too shabby. He's all right. Yeah, I think you've got a pretty decent, like Derek Kane said, Pizzetta's kind of a spot player, that fourth line, that energy role player. Yeah. And you need those guys in the lineup. So I don't see how that isn't the line unless you're putting Kapanen at Evans' spot and Jack at Pizzetta's spot. But I think it's only one of the two that changes.
Okay, Matt, who do you think is there?
Well, I'm disappointed you guys missed another winger vying for that final spot.
Oh God!
So I got Mario Armia, I get Jake Evans, and I get Luke Tuck.
Oh yeah!
Well, I didn't forget. I think he should have been named as one of those guys. Yeah.
And here's why. I watched him play all 4 years at Boston University. I saw him get better every year at Boston University. He brings a very unique aspect to the Habs, and I think they would benefit with having him in the lineup. Again, I don't know how he'll do compared to those other guys vying for that spot in camp, but he's a big boy, and he excels digging pucks out of the corner, using his body to make space with the puck, lives in front of the net to bat and rebounds. A lot of his goals were just standing in front of the net, making life hard for the goalie, batting and rebounds. He's bigger than Gallagher. He's more built than Gallagher. It's a unique thing to have on the team. And I think he's ready to handle pro-style hockey. I mean, he played all 4 years at BU, played very well. Just had probably his best season at BU. And again, I mean, that's his game. I mean, he'll fight in the corner. Very, very tough kid, very strong kid, very smart kid too. And I think he should be in the conversation there. And I'm a little biased. I'm a BU guy. But I think there's a chance, a good shot Alex Tuck could make that spot. Luke Tuck.
Okay, I have Barry Boulay there, but this is the one but this is where I think I'm changing my mind. He may be the 13th forward. I think it's Pizzetta, Evans, and Armia. Why Pizzetta? Now, what I'm going to say could maybe apply to Tuck, but I don't know necessarily this about Tuck. Pizzetta, Jack Guy needs Pizzetta there. You can't ask Arbor Jack Guy
to do everything
that, fight all that alone. The only guy they have right now, it could be Struble as well, but right now that Pizzetta. So I think Pizzetta, with 1 year left on his contract, I think he's deserving of it to get that fourth line spot.
Yeah, definitely.
A good year forward behind Tuck.
But I think Luke Tuck is a possibility there. And for me,
and Luke Tuck can get physical. I mean, I've seen him get pissed off.
No, I know.
Pissed off.
I get that. If he's like his brother, he's definitely got to be a physical type. I don't know if he's a fighter.
And like I said, he brings such a unique dimension that I think really
but they need a guy
out and going forward.
They need a guy.
I think he's ready for it.
They need a guy.
All 4 years of college hockey, I think he's prepared for it.
But they need a guy that can drop the gloves. If Pizzetta's not going to be in the lineup, you need another guy that can drop the gloves and fight.
Right.
So now that brings up that question of the brother. He can fight.
Yeah.
He's tough and physical. So I think these three guys, to me, because I don't know enough about Barry Boulay, but I know he's got the experience and all that stuff.
I think he would just kind of, you know what, we want a body here.
Every other lineup projection I have, every other lineup projection I've seen doesn't have Barry Boulay. So that's
he's a guy who's had offensive potential. He just hasn't reached it. He's much more of a
I think
so
that
kind of an energy
that
kind of
signing
guy.
to me was just let's just grab a body just in case for emergencies.
Right, but having Laval, and he could be a leader in Laval's got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Like I could see maybe
absolutely.
It's a great depth signing.
Yeah. So I personally think it's Pizzetta with potential for Tuck and maybe Jack-Eye to get that spot. But out of camp, it's going to be Pizzetta in my mind.
Yeah, and I will say about Barbier, it's a great AHL signing for sure. This is the guy who's point per game, 22-23. He had 84 points in 69 games. So this is a guy, he knows his way around the AHL. It's a great signing for down there. So he can definitely be a leader for sure.
And that's where I think that's where he's going to end up. Now he could be called up, sure. I mean, there's but I think he'll have to go through waivers. Like I don't know what's
yes. That. If we send him at the start of the year, he'd have to go through waivers.
He probably clears. I mean, he probably does. So,
I don't know. A team like San Jose, they've been big on the waivers the last couple months. So
is it a huge loss in the long run? Maybe not.
For someone who likes Barbier like me, yeah.
Okay, but
for the actual
and he has
team,
been rumored. How many years has he been rumored that either he's signing with us or we're trading for him?
No, we're claiming him on waivers was the last 2 years because
there's a rumor almost every year about Barbier coming here. So
because he's French. He's from Quebec.
I know, and he might not even get a shot. Now
which would suck, but you know what? We did sign him. Never said we were going to use him.
Never say never. But... All right, so we're basically at the end because we've hit our time limit. Ooh, go ahead.
Can we talk movie talk for a second? Podcast was released.
Yeah, go ahead. All
right, so we have another project. If you guys like the HabNormals and how we do this, well, too bad. No, but if you like how we do this, there's a podcast over on my channel, like Rick mentioned at the top of the show, and I'll mention again here. Type in Harry Rice Hockey up in YouTube in the search right here, or if you're on Spotify, go to YouTube and look on Harry Rice Hockey. There's a series called Movie Talk. We just released a new episode about an hour and a half before this episode went live here on YouTube. We did a video where we talked about 5 movies that we just watched, all of them from the 2010s. I'm assuming it's okay I say what movies they are, right?
Go ahead.
We watched The Irishman, The Gift, Whiplash, Bridesmaids, and I can't remember Sisters Brothers. We watched The Sisters Brothers.
Well,
we had some pretty... Well, yeah. Matt watched 4 out of the 5, but we had a great conversation about all those films. Honestly, and I'm not just saying this because it's a thing on my show, on my channel, but genuinely one of the most fun projects I've done on the channel so far.
It's a fun project.
It's a lot of fun.
For us, it's definitely a lot of fun. I don't know how it comes across to the audience, but we have a ton of fun doing it.
Yeah, it's great to record. I hope it's great for you. It's fun for you guys to watch. So if you guys enjoy us talking about hockey and you want to hear us talk maybe something else, check out that show over on my channel. Again, it's called The Movie Talk. It's called Movie Talk. I sometimes with the HabNormals, depends on what I put in the titles, but it's for sure Movie Talk. Go onto my channel, like I said, go under the videos and you'll see it. All 5 episodes. I'll be putting them in a playlist so you can watch all 5 of them. We'll have more coming soon. I think I can reveal what our next topic is, right? I think it should be fun.
Doing the same thing. Oh, because you didn't say these were from the 2010s.
Yeah, these the 5 movies you watched were from the 2010s. We're doing another episode next Sunday. We're recording for 5 movies from the 2000s. We have different genres, of course. That's how we do it, where we pick movies from a certain decade. As of right now, that's how we're doing it. Certain decade and different genres. We've got 5 interesting films. I'm not going to reveal those right here. Because I think it's fun.
Yeah, go. You can.
I think it's fun to keep the viewers a little like, what are the movies?
They might hear the movies and go, "Oh, I want to see that."
All right, you know what? Give me a second. I gotta load the.
I got him. I got him
too.
Check out the horror movie, The Midnight Meat Train, which I watched the other night. I'd seen it before. The action movie, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I've seen it before. Crime drama, No Country for Old Men. I've seen it before. Sci-fi Daybreakers, which I realize I've seen before, and the sports movie Miracle, which I've seen before, but I'm happy to watch them all again.
Well, the movie and he watched it in real life.
And I did see that. I did see that in real life, that game. So yeah. Good luck. And, we have a lot of fun doing that. You guys should check it out. It runs a little long. I'll have to admit that, but it's because we can't stop talking.
Yeah, we love talking about films. We love talking about it, and
as much as we love hockey, we love talking about movies and stuff too.
Yeah, each episode's basically about 2 hours. So if you guys are ever looking for something to watch on your way to work, or maybe you're looking for something to fall asleep to, put on an episode of Movie Talk.
It's perfect. All right,
absolutely.
We're gonna get ourselves out of here.
Yes.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. I don't know what we're going to be talking about in 2 weeks because we don't have anything like running. But there'll be news and there'll be stuff. So please check us out. It's summer, so we're doing every 2 weeks. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. We're not going to be live in 2 weeks. We'll be back to our normal video.
Pre-recorded.
We just thought we'd go live tonight because of the signings and it's kind of quiet and that's something to talk about. So we thought we'd go live. Thanks for being here. We really do appreciate it. And all you guys that are, and girls that are following us, we really appreciate it. We can't tell you how much, believe me. So have a great night. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out. And we will see you soon. Have a good night. Ciao, everybody. Harry's in his pose.